Hello everyone, welcome back to my War in the Pacific Admirals edition, where I'm bringing December back, and I'm going to be bringing January and starting early February as well, re-recording some of my early February stuff due to the sound. In the meantime, here's an invasion of Guam. Looks like December 12 is when he's decided to pull the trigger on this invasion. We have one coastal gun firing. Very interesting there. You could see here he's basically invading all of northern, or almost all of northern New Guinea all at once. He's dropping troops at Brunei in northern Borneo, also in southern New Ireland. We have the I-23 parked here south of Pearl, and we don't get any depth charges off. He doesn't fire torpedoes either, so it's kind of a wash. The I-123 has caught a cargo ship. I don't remember if that's going into Bataan / probably Manila, or if it's coming back out. But it's a light cargo ship with one torpedo. I think that's going to sink. And there it goes. So you can see there, northern New Guinea. Now, here's the thing. I feel like I need to rely very heavily on these Dutch subs, because until the American subs, the Mark 14s, start actually properly detonating, the Dutch subs are our biggest asset right now, at least in the submarine department. But they completely miss with 2 torpedoes. But the skipjack, see, this is basically what I'm talking about. We're firing several torpedoes, but we do surface and pull out the deck guns and a 3-inch deck gun, and we just destroyed one of his 88 millimeter guns. Okay. Okay, fuel cargo is now burning. He has severe engine damage. More fuel cargo is burning. I've seen ships survive this before, but I don't know. There's a lot of fires going on here. Okay, another hit. Another hit. But we're low on ammo, so we leave the engagement. See this heavy fires. There's no telling, but I think it's going to sink. All right, this is the Leander. I want to say it's parked at Luganville. Yeah, the New Zealand Leander light cruiser. It's facing off against this invasion force by itself at night. Let's see what we can do about this. He beat us to the punch. The Leander was supposed to park here at Luganville, waiting for our troop convoy to come in, and we are beating up the Tatsuta though. But it was parked here waiting for the convoy of troops from Canton Island. But it looks like the Japanese just beat us to the punch. But this early warning where we're meeting him here has allowed us to... Sorry, I'm talking over these hits. We're severely damaging the Tatsuta. But this, by the way, because this has happened in the past, I can say, this engagement allowed us to divert our convoy instead of getting caught up into a fight here. We diverted the convoy of troops down to Noumea down here, letting him have Luganville. Okay, 8,000 yards. Again, this is a night engagement, so it's not going to be as clean for either side as it would be if it was daylight. And you can see the moonlight is only 35% here. Yeah, look, but that just is deck armor hit. It could just be it bounced off. Alright, so he escapes and we break off. But here's what's very interesting to me. Let me just move over a little bit. What's interesting is we leave, and you'll see this when I hit done. We leave, I can't remember which direction we go. We leave and he remains, which is mildly frustrating because I would have, if he would have left, I think I would have had time to get in here with more cruisers and hold him back more permanently, but it just didn't work out. You can see here we put his ship on fire, the Tatsuta, and we just took one shell hit and tanked that pretty well, I guess. Okay. See, we withdraw to the southeast. Okay, the I-1 is firing at our minesweeper here, parked south. Basically, we've got several anti-sub ships going around Pearl, but he fires 2 torpedoes and misses, and we can't find him. Alright, we've got night raid of Nels trying to bomb Singapore here. But it's heavy rain, that helps. Well, helps us, I should say. So the 28% moonlight, as well as heavy rain, he's not able to get in there. Alright, I don't know if you can hear that sinking sound, but that might be that tanker east of China. Okay, this is the I-1 again, firing at our anti-sub, 4 torpedoes even, but we likewise don't find him. And the Shark is similarly firing at a torpedo boat and misses. And these fast transports, or AP, destroyer transports basically, they don't catch us, fortunately. But we try, when you don't succeed, try again, right? 4 torpedoes. I didn't catch how many torpedoes he fired the first wave, but 4 on that one. And again, Dutch sub here, parked off of Siam, and doesn't get any shots off before it dives. And I have been saying that these Type 95 depth charges, I'm not a Japanese player, but they seem to be very strong if you're in shallow water. And here we are in shallows and take 2 hits. The deep water is favorable for us, but not the shallow. Okay, he's doing a bombardment of some kind. I'm going to push through here. And it ends up being a pre-invasion action, which means he's dropping more troops off. It's not just an independent bombardment action. And his transports unload some troops. He takes a few units destroyed, 107 casualties. Okay, this is also invasion operation at Brunei. Alright, we're reacting to his subs around here, which is you'll see here in a minute, very active in submarine action. Alright, some more invasion action, I believe, and some more casualties on the unload here. 24 coastal guns, and none there because we don't have any troops there. Okay, 2 coastal guns here at Brunei in operation. Yeah. All right, the I-25 here by west of Pearl. We got destroyer minesweepers here. Here we are firing damage. You know, it's not a direct hit. And now that was above the sub detonation. But we did get one hit. It just was probably a glancing blow. And it looks like we're trying to engage him again. But we don't get anything out of that. Okay, the porpoise here fires at a nice juicy cargo ship and completely misses. Alright, now we're in the air phase, the AM portion, and a lot of spotting going on here. And unconfirmed sightings here. Paranoid pilots and crew. See, look at all these subs our ASW air units at Pearl are finding. It's pretty nuts. And this early in the war, there's a lot of training going on as well. So we're not getting any hits on the attacks. Not yet, anyway. And here we've got one sole P-40B that's trying to take on 20 Zeros, and we take some damage and just go ahead and flee. Okay, and now he comes in for a second sweep, and we're not there. And then he brings in a raid with some escort, but let's see what the damage is. Well, it's thunderstorms, so that helps, but we still take a damaged P-35 on the ground, and our air base is hit a little bit. And then he follows up with another 40 bombers. Let's see what happens here. Some more hits, so even in the thunderstorms. Okay, let's look at this. He is flying at 18,000 feet, so that's pretty high. Thunderstorms. Not sure why we're allowing that many hits. It could be a lack of flak, I don't know. Plus we lost an 047 recon plane. And he's bombing Ichang. We both have troops here. He's bombing our troops. I believe we're going to be bombing his. We take some disabled non-combat units. And then we got moderate rain in the Hex. Let's see, he's bombing at 15,000 feet. So we can compare that to our bombing mission. He's bombing Hong Kong with, 50 plus 53, I guess, aircraft. So he's bombing the airfield and port, I think. Of course, this just shows airbase, 12 hits. We do damage a couple of IDAs. And a follow-up raid of Lilies. Okay, and this one was a port strike, and hit, of course. 15,000 feet. This is overcast, though, this Hex. And we're bombing Ichang as well. And this one, though, he has Nate's protecting. Now we get our bombers into the Hex. Let's take a look at the difference here between his and ours. First of all, we do take several damaged DB3s. We do destroy an engineer, but that's all. However, 24 casualties out of it. And we are flying at 9,000 feet. So I'm not really impressed with our bombing rate here. We were lower than his. Well, and then here's follow-up, plus we have some Hawks escorting. But here's a follow-up raid of some Hudsons. Some American Lent Hudsons. Let's push through this. Alright, so let's see. What do we have? No damage at all whatsoever. Well, at least reported. Alright, B-17s from Kungayan hitting the, looks like the runways here at Miri. He's captured Miri. It does have a decent base, so we're going to try to beat it up so he doesn't get some fighters in there too quickly. And in the meantime, we beat up some of his ground troops, but anyway, several base hits there. Alright, some recon action was going on there. Alright, trying to bomb some subs again. Yeah, not sure if I can believe any of these. The sub hit, the destroyer minesweeper hit. And there's another sub hit reported. A lot of recon action going all over the map. So the I-5 here, northeast of Pearl, and no action. Okay, Manus is, it looks like he's going to try to take that. And Shortlands, there in the Solomons, that's the beginning of his conquest of the Solomons here. And it looks like more troops or supplies, something's offloading here. Okay. Land phase. Alright, deliberate attack just east of Changsha. He wants this road clear. It looks like the ideal, because then he can get supplies in and around here. Of course, he can have supplies come this way too. His supply network is not in bad shape right now. And with 6-1 odds, he kicks us out. We take serious, heavy casualties here. Almost 5,000 troops. He loses less than 800, and most, like, all disabled, which is obviously repairable. And just one lone squad is destroyed. And then here's his deliberate attack at Hong Kong. He's been softening up the troops, so let's see if he can take it now. He has one division and equivalent of a second, well, maybe half a division. So let's see how it goes for him. Alright, he doesn't take it. It starts with basically 3-1. He reduces the fortifications to 2 before he even does the attack. But due to modifiers, we more than double our assault value, and he basically less than half his assault value. He takes more than double our casualties, but again, mostly disabled. We take more destroyed than he does, and his disabled can be recovered. Also, we lose a huge amount of disabled ourselves. Let's continue. And he's doing another attack on this road to Sian, and does a good job working our troops over our assault value. But we eat into his troops more than he does ours as far as disables. Again, we lose more destroyed than him, but the numbers 773 to 577. 200 more casualties. This one, though, is a 1-1 odds, and it's mostly due to this terrain because we have poor morale and experience. Kota Baru, just a simple bombardment action. We do take 8 casualties. And of course, Guam being, you know, attacked here on the 12th of December. And they, obviously, Guam surrenders and he captures it.
Bringing you some hot music and another blow to your morale. Today, our High Command announced that the ever-victorious forces of the Japanese Empire have captured Guam.
And one of each disabled, 23 casualties. Obviously, we lose the whole unit, so everything is destroyed. Yep, we just couldn't hold. But our assault value went from 10 to 11. His dropped, but it just, you know, 11 to 1. It's also fort value of only 1. It just wasn't going to work. Now, Victoria Point, he has basically a battalion here, but we just have a small base force with no assault value. We get kicked out and retreat, and he takes that base. Let's see. Of course, this is undefended, so that's going to be captured. So he's basically conquered the whole of New Ireland. And he's attacking northern New Guinea, so that's going to fall. And no defenders up north. Same thing here. And Brunei, it might as well be undefended. Let's see, do we even... Yeah, well, I guess being defended, as bad as it was, we do cause some casualties to the Japanese. We get kicked back into, I believe that's Beaufort. Okay, Aitape. Yep. Also captured. And we bombard, not because I wanted to, but because that's what happens when there's an invasion. Your troops auto bombard. Okay. Now we're doing a shock attack. We know he's got a division here, but I don't want to just do dilly-dally with deliberate attacks. You can't see it here, but he has troops with a tag wanting to come in, and I don't want them to get here before we take it. So we got to just do a shock attack and kick him out. And then we do just that. We take Aichang and do serious damage to his troops as a result. Look at this, 95, 151. A lot of destroyed stuff, including vehicles. I'm sure this is going to be relatively easy to repair and replace, and then these disabled. But still, it slows him down again. That's part of the whole Chinese conflict is just occupying his troops so they can't do something else somewhere else. But yeah, let's see. So this was 1488 to 1319, and then he was at 318 to 207. He did have fort level 2, but it was still 6 to 1, and we captured it. And Pao To, this is just a bombardment attack. We see that it's almost 2 to 1. With the bombardment. Alright, these are expansions of bases around the map. And mostly fortifications, which size 1 is very easy to achieve, even with a small number of engineers. Okay, I will be back to talk about February 13. Hey, I'm back with December 13. And we're reacting to, I guess, some submarine action or movement at least. And let's see. Okay, the Shark is still out here firing at torpedo boats. Isn't that insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. All right, but we do take damage. Fires below deck. See, this is again shallow water. These Type 95 depth charges. Again, just my opinion. They seem to hit hard. The Sturgeon, it looks like opted not to fire. Well, at a destroyer anyway. Also didn't fire at a cargo ship, but anyway. This, I believe, is a deep water hex. But these are modified depth charges, so they go lower than the basic ones. So even if we're in deep water, we can still they can still get a beat on us. But we come out unscathed. The perch is located here. It looks like this might be deep water. So, and it's detonating above our depth, and so where the Type 95 is not as good as in deep water, but man, if they can catch you in a port or shallow water, I don't like it anyway. All right, I believe this is our heavy cruiser Pensacola, the American. There we go. And it's a night action. We don't have a lot of experience at night, but we're going to take on the Japanese ships here that are, again, parked at Luganville or in or around Luganville. We'll take a minute to watch this. There hasn't been a lot of surface action in our game, so this is kind of a treat here. And it looks like everybody's missing each other so far. You can see the American crews aren't as experienced as the Leanders are, and no hits, we break off, and again, we're the ones that leave the hex and let them keep it. See, we moved to the southwest. But I guess it looked like he moved to the northeast, but his transports and amphibious invasion force is still parked there at Luganville. Nels, night bombing. Now we're at 17% moonlight, and it's overcast, but the moonlight doesn't help, and it looks like he doesn't get anything. Kotabaru. This is most likely some more troops being unloaded. Let's take a look. I don't know. The way that was bombarded so heavily, that was, I should have noticed that was a bombardment group. It was bombarded way more heavily than in just an invasion support, and he really tore up the base, damaged our troops. Of course, he's going to have to repair all this when he takes it, but in the meantime, of course, our engineers are going to try to repair it and use effort and supply doing it. And here's his invasion of Luganville. He beat us to the punch, and well, he earned it. The Huso Maru. We have 11 coastal guns still firing at Kota Baru, but but we don't hit anything. I just noticed that 3.7-inch mountain guns. And naval phase, the I-9 firing, hit but no explosion. Okay, that's scary because that's a destroyer. I'm just thankful it didn't explode. But we don't, and that was 6 torpedoes. Wow, that's intense. Okay, it's still unloading at Shortlands also. Alright, the I-155 parked here northeast of Palembang gets a torpedo into our tanker. I'm gonna assume that's that. Out of 6 torpedoes fired, 1 hits. But this is something I would encourage my captains to do. I mean, let's make sure we hit it, even if it costs us 6 torpedoes. And yeah, the Strix does sink. We have some task forces merging. I'm not even sure what those are. Possibly related to like maybe escorts merging with groups, convoys, capital ships, whatever. And now we're in the air phase. We're doing some spottings. Look at all this, checking out all the subs surrounding Pearl. And unconfirmed spottings. Yep, I know there's a lot of ships up there by Malaysia. And tons of subs. All right, we have some unfortunate P-40Es that's capping Manila, and they're gonna try to face off against 18 Zeros. We can see there's 3 less, okay? Did they get shot down? I mean, not according to this report. Were they just simply damaged? I don't know. But if they're damaged, they have a long flight home as well. Now, in this case, severe storms they're flying into, and also we're not meeting them in the air. Now, he completely swept our fighters from the sky, either by destroying them, damaging them, or just fatiguing them. And now he comes in with his bombing raid, 17 aircraft. But the severe storms helps. He's also flying at 18,000 feet, 2 disabled non-combat squads. And also, I think that was a port raid. Not a bad place to strike because a port strike because it's possible we have some kind of ships in port. Severe storms at Clark Field. And it's really just a sweep anyway. Now come the bombers. Basically 48 bombers. Let's see what happens. He does damage and destroy 1 Warhawk. Does some damage to the base. And that's from 18,000 feet. Yeah. And 28 more Nels. Yep, some minor damage. But there again, really the storms are probably what's protecting us. And he's bombing Aichang some more, but which I'm not 100% sure why, except to maybe either accidentally forgot to stop the bombing, or he's hoping to keep us from moving out. And I'm not sure what instructions we gave those troops. Hong Kong, he's bombing because, well, he'd like to keep us suppressed. And then one of the things he's doing here is keeping us from upgrading our forts, repairing our forts, the like. This has multiple effects here, and he's not bombing our troops, but our airbase simply, again, to keep us from upgrading the fortification. These IDAs are following through. This looks like a ground bombing, though, and it's hitting Hong Kong Fortress, but does no discernible damage. Or no reportable damage, nor reported damage anyway. And we got some lilies coming in. They are hitting runway. I wonder if they're also hitting the port. I don't know. Or trying to, but anyway, it looks like it's an airfield attack. So that's that. We are bombing troops here. No recollection of why. He has some Nates flying cap over it, and these are SP3s, which are not the best bombers in the world. But of course, these are not the best fighters either, so it's probably a good raid. But it looks like, without any losses, I assume or hope, we just leave the airspace to him. B-17 bombing at Miri, bombing the airbase some more. And we do some minor damage here. Okay. Now we got the recon. It seems like there's the search or patrol phase, and then strike phase, and then recon phase. And then we go into the PM, and then more things happen. Again, probably search for, it looks like search first. Naval search particularly. We got some anti-sub bombing, potential hit. All right, that's that for the air phase anyway. About to hit. Okay, here's more troops landing at various locations. Well, Malaysia and Luganville. All right. Here's another deliberate attack. Again, trying to push us off this road. I'm gonna get through that. Still 1-to-1 odds. Look at that. 3-to-1, but it becomes 1-to-1. We almost double here. And we do now we're starting to take heavy casualties, and so it's really a matter of time. And when I say a matter of time, probably next turn. Now he's bombarding, taking a break from his attacks, bombing and then bombarding. You know, soften us up. We do take some casualties here. And now he's doing another deliberate attack. Well, actually, that's right, the 12th he just did a bombardment. Now he's doing a deliberate attack. Let's see if he can take the base. Yep, capture Cote de Baru. Our units, one of them surrenders and the other two retreat southwest toward, I believe that's Temulo. Yeah, 14-to-1. That was, we were not gonna be able to survive that. We do take heavy casualties. 1548. He takes a fifth of that, and very light. Shortlands will fall. Manus will fall. And Pauco, we're trying to knock him around here, but the reverse happens because of the modifiers. CR 165 gets dropped to a whole 14, and then 84 becomes almost double. So we get 1/10, he gets double, and that makes for a bad recipe. And Now he doesn't. Now we're bad on leaders and supply, and he has positive modifiers for terrain and forts, and just a little bit of malice is there. But yeah, we take heavy casualties, something probably we shouldn't have been gambling with, but it is what it is. Now it's in the past, nothing we can do about it. Some expansions, again, fortifications, which are um, cheap and easy to produce. And then we're going to take a very brief look at the situation today to through December 13, I should say, specify. You see these low garrison? Yeah, I'll talk about that here very briefly. A lot of this is air units being transferred. We do have some coastal AA and artillery stuff in the west coming into the west coast. I will be right back. So I just wanted to start here. Look at all these subs trying to choke Pearl. And we've got the Saratoga. Let's the Saratoga is heading in, and we're gonna have to be very careful how we get it in there. Um, so that's gonna be a fun challenge. I wanted to give you just a synopsis of how the war has gone for the first week of the war. Um, we've had more sorties, although most of them are just um, patrols or cap where no action is really happening. I'm not sure what he's doing. For example, is he doing similarly? But he's been the aggressor, so his sorties are more have had more impact than my sorties. We've had 3 losses this day. He's had 3 also, just for different reasons. But if you look at the campaign, we've had 157. Well, we can look at the other screen for this, but he's had very light air losses. Most of ours were destroyed on the field on the first day, it looks like. Um, but yeah, if you look at just points lost, it's 190 to 82. But that tells the value story, but it doesn't necessarily tell you the raw numbers. He's lost a few ships. We've lost 6 times more, and he's lost decent amount of troops already in the first week. All right, let's take a look at the air losses today. Again, 3 to 3 today, but 182 to 82. So we've lost 100 more aircraft than he has. But if we look at today, we've lost a couple of Warhawks, P-40Es, and he's lost an L, Babs, and a Claude, those two to Ops, and he lost an L to Flak, and we lost a P-40B. So we've actually lost 3 Warhawks in total. And if we look at total of this, we've got 46 zeros shot up for various reasons. Well, destroyed anyway. We've lost 42 P-40Es and 30 P-40Bs. So really, if you look at it like that, it's like 72 to 46 lost. Now, and then air to air is even worse to look at because we've lost 38 in air to air combat versus 11 whereas the vast majority of his zeros were shot up by flak, and then he's lost some ops for probably long range cap and other things, well sweeps too, whatever. Now Catalina's we've lost only 24. Well, I say only. All 24 Catalinas we lost were destroyed on the ground. But again, this is just the first week, so 12 Dauntlesses destroyed on the ground. These are probably mostly, both these numbers are probably mostly Pearl. And then P40B's likely Pearl as well. But it could have been also Manila somewhere over there in the Philippines. Be, a lot. We just lost a lot of stuff on the ground the first day. Um, so yeah, I kind of covered that. Let's look at Ship's Song just last turn. He lost the I-5 supposedly due to a bomb. Um, our ASW patrol there, and then we lost the Strix, the tanker. But yeah, if you look at sub, supposedly sank two subs. I'll believe it when I see it. I just don't know. Um, okay. Let's see. Um, we've lost a total of 28 pilots that won't come back, 30 wounded. Now we may get one or two, both of these missing guys back if they can escape captivity or be found, floating on some kind of flotation device in the Pacific. But in the meantime, we're out 28 pilots. Okay, and we clearly do not have any aces yet. We have one British pilot has two kills, and a few miscellaneous pilots have only one each. Okay, so I think we covered a few things there. Um, I just wanted to talk real briefly about some hot spots. One is he has unloaded here. He hasn't attacked yet, which he'll probably do this upcoming turn. Our cruisers were just going in piecemeal the last 2 days, and I couldn't get them coordinated for some reason for all three of these cruisers to be in this hex at once. Now, I should have done something different coming up. I should have just gone in here, but instead I'm trying to bring reinforcements, and instead of going straight back in, I wait for the reinforcements, and by then they're gone. Anyway, that's on me. In the meantime, I simply sent my convoy that was up by Canton Island. I sent it down here to Noumea instead of um, Luganville. And that's what this is because I opted to say, okay, I don't want to get tangled up in there with a bunch of defenseless ships. Um, and then let's see, we got, oh, okay. So we're bringing some guys from Australia to Fate because the goal again is to set up some kind of perimeter. And you can see we've got troops at Ndeni, and we're going to be building this base up and hopefully working our way north and building up Kumak as well. But yeah. Also, we actually already have or had some troops. This New Zealand Pioneer Company, we brought them in here to bring some engineers to build up Noumea. That's the goal there. All right, I'm going to skip to the other spot that I wanted to talk about up here. I think. Okay, yeah. Okay, we retreated from Wenchao, Wuchao, and Pakoi, and all three of these have garrison issues. So a couple things I was thinking is I was not thinking of garrison, but I was also thinking, maybe if we lose one VP per turn, that won't be the end of the world. But I mean, I'm not a big fan of that decision I made. I think I end up going back. But the idea was to just get out of here and get back into more defensive positions, including here, because this is clear terrain. See, this is clear, hard to defend. This is clear, hard to defend. But this is wooded rough. But the reason I'm retreating, uh, again, let me get through my thought because it might make sense in here in a minute. These Japanese troops are all, he pushed us out of this hex. I don't know his mission and objective. As far as I know, he's going to start coming in here and start push down here and start trapping these troops. So I'm just thinking, okay, let me make sure I have a clear path out. But I promise, I do come back, just not quick, not very quickly. This flips. Well, I don't want to give you too many spoilers. The point is that I left these without any garrison, and especially these two, didn't seem attractive to me, so I retreated. This one was a foolish mistake, um, and then as we go north, well, I Chang, see, we secured, took it. He's pushed out. We're just trying to get out of these um, clear hexes because I don't know. Again, I could have stopped right here where it's wooded. In any case, I'm not sure what I end up doing here, but I do consolidate at I Chang. And even though this is clear, we do have a lot of AV here, and he'll have to do a shock attack to get across. However, up north, we're a lot weaker, and so he's going to kick us out of here. But we're building up like these are times three, so we're building up positions here, and this was kind of a foolish mistake here, Pauto. And but now we're just going to go back on the defensive, see if we can arm the flanks. Meanwhile, anything else that stands out? All right, I guess not. But yeah, so I just wanted to point out because we saw those low garrison um, alerts. That's what that's all about. And then he's got us trapped in between two sizable forces, one coming from the north toward, this area down here, and one coming from the south. My guess is up toward this area here. And that's about it. I mean, we already know. Well, I guess I'll say I was gonna say we already know he's here. He knocked us back. This is bad roads, or it's not roads at all. If you can't tell, this is railroads only. So he could chase us down here, but it would be very slow going. We're we're gonna retreat and get back into here, and he'll be on his merry way, whatever direction he so chooses. But I'm not gonna sit parked here. I'm gonna consolidate. Um, this is Jungle Rough times three, and the goal is to park here and here and kind of as blocking so it doesn't so it's not so easy for him to get down to Singapore, and he'll have to clear these two, one or both of these hexes to get supplies to come down, follow him down there. And yeah, he took Brunei, forced us to retreat. So that's it's kind of the synopsis of what's going on. I will say, um, okay, the shark was hit. Look at our subs. The shark was hit. Look at this. See, this is what I'm talking about. The Type 95 depth charges. That's pretty significant. The porpoise, I don't remember it being hit, but the K-15, um, okay, must be a later action after the. It could have been last turn actually. That's fine. I was just gonna see if we saw any indication of what happened with the porpoise, but it must be another turn. But yeah, the shark took one hit and boom, it's basically out of commission. That's one of the reasons why my goal is to stay out of these um, poor and shallow hexes. Uh, Here it is. So it's funny because it's still sitting on patrol. Um, I'm talking about as far as computer, the computer has it. Uh, but I believe we end up sending it back to repair. Anyway, all right, guys, thanks for joining me here. Thanks for watching. Again, just trying to recap some of what happened prior to my first upload of February 1. And I'll continue to upload or generate these and upload them as I can, as I have time. Take care, everyone. Have a good rest of your day. And until next time, when we talk about December 14 turn resolution. All right. Bye.